Spring travel season is underway, and we want to give you a foolproof guide to maximizing credit card rewards to help pay for your next trip. Joining me now, an expert on this, Clint Henderson, managing editor at The Points Guide. So Clint, good to have you in here in the studio with us. How does one pick the best travel card for their needs?
So it's going to really depend on what airport you're flying from, what airline you like to fly. But that's why I like to tell people, just get one of the premium credit cards with a transferable currency. So Amex, Chase, Capital One, Bilt, they all transfer to various partners. It's going to give you a lot more flexibility. And these cards have huge annual fees. But if you maximize them, you can more than make up for the cost of the annual fee. So in the case of American Express, $700. There's speculation it could go up even higher, but they have so many credits, travel credits that you can get, Uber credits, restaurant credits, all kinds of interesting things that you can do to offset that annual fee.
What cards do you recommend for frequent travelers out there?
So I would say the American Express Platinum is my go-to. Even though it's outrageously expensive. The Chase Sapphire Preferred is a basic card, $95 a year, but it gives you a $50 hotel credit. It gives you a big sign-up bonus, which is the way you really build up those miles and points. The Chase Sapphire Reserve is a higher-end card that has travel credits as well, up to $300. And then the the Capital One Venture card, another one with big travel credits that you can maximize. And so these annual fees can be scary to people, but a lot of times they are worth it.
And so how many cards should the average consumer have out there?
So I would say pick your favorite airline, the one that you fly the most. Get their co-branded credit card, because that gives you free bags, priority boarding, and sometimes some other perks, and a big sign-up bonus. And then get one of the cards with a transferable currency. So don't be crazy like me and have 27 credit cards, but maybe 2 to 3 to start. And then when you get a little more advanced, if you really want to get those big points balances, you got to open multiple cards. But there's all kinds of tricks going from there.
So speaking of the tricks here, what is the best way to rack up and redeem points and for free and discounted travel? Because that's what we really want. We want to travel for free.
Absolutely. And I think the best way to do that is to get those sign-up bonuses. But for most people, I would say start with a card where you're putting all your spending that has a currency like membership rewards from American Express that transfers to literally 18 partners. So whether that's Hyatt Hotels or whether that's Air France Flying Blue, because that's when you really maximize it, when you're using other carriers. You're finding the award that you want, that business class seat to Europe, and then you're transferring the currency over to book the actual trip.
How do you recommend somebody keep track of their points?
So I keep a spreadsheet,
Okay.
But there is services. The Points Guy app has a way to track all your balances. Really good way to keep track of it. There's other products out there that offer tracking services, but I just keep a simple Google sheet. It keeps it basic. I just recommended this to a friend. I said, just put the cards you have, the balances, and it gives you an idea of where you're at.
Okay, so if you have a spreadsheet, I imagine you have more than 5 credit cards then.
27.
27?
27.
Over time?
Over time, and here's some other tricks around that. So not everyone's going to be obsessive like me, but I have huge balances because of that. But if you have a card, you get a big sign-up bonus. Don't close the account. Downgrade it to a no annual fee if you don't want to pay the annual fee the next year. So you've got that sign-up bonus. Downgrade it to a no annual fee version, then you're not paying a lot of annual fees. I am, because I know I can maximize those cards. So I make sure I'm getting every single statement credit. I'm using the travel credits, using those rideshare credits and the Resi credits and all those things. But you want to keep track of that and make sure you're doing that.
How do you know when to put a credit card on the chopping block?
So if it's not giving you benefits, if you're not earning your annual fee back every year, then it's time to downgrade that card and not necessarily close it, because that can hurt your credit score. So even though I have 27 credit cards, I have excellent credit because I've kept those accounts open. It looks like I have a lot of credit available. I have a low credit utilization, and so you're really maximizing your credit score that way.
Interesting. How do you avoid common credit card fees and pitfalls?
So the first thing I would say is don't ever carry a balance. That's tip number one, because any reward you're getting from carrying a balance is going to be outweighed by the interest you're paying. So you want to be able to pay that card off in full every month. If you can't do that, don't even get in the game. Then it's not even worth it. Keep track of what credits are available on that card and just make sure secure. You send a reminder to yourself once a month to use the credit. Just make sure you're getting the annual fees worth of value from that card every year.
All right, personal favorite question here, and I only have 30 seconds.
Yeah.
How do you know when it's time to buy the travel insurance? When it's time to click that button when you're booking a trip to protect it and get the insurance on top of what you're already paying?
Don't ever buy that travel insurance.
Really?
No, if you book your trip with one of the premium credit cards I've been hammering on, they include up to medical evacuation on that card, so you don't need additional insurance unless you're a skydiver or a deep sea diver or doing action sports. Then sometimes you'll need a supplemental coverage, but use a premium card that you know has the insurance you want on it. Medical evacuation, not all cards offer that.
None of the activities that I do count as action sports. Clint, thanks so much for taking the time here with us.
Anytime.